Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Hedera and HBAR. And we just got done making a video on XRP about how much XRP do you need in order to become a millionaire. So I figured why not do an updated view on HBAR, because a lot has changed since our last major update on HBAR around how much HBAR do you need to become a millionaire. And I figured why not do a full-on update? Why not talk about it? Let's see how much HBAR you really need. And I'm going to ask the same question that I asked in the XRP video. How much HBAR do you guys think you need in order to become a millionaire by the end of next bull run? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment down below and also hit that like button if you guys haven't already. And if you guys are not subscribed to the channel by the end of this video, if you guys did find any of the content interesting, maybe you learned something new, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on to never miss a future update. But with all of that in mind, let's dive in and let's start off with Catalyst. So right now, a big narrative is AI tokens. In fact, the graph, which is a token that we've talked about quite a bit on this channel, it's one that I've talked about quite a bit over on Twitter as well. I said, do not miss out on the graph. And hey, look at, we're up 118%, up almost 30% on the 24-hour span. This is a token that I believe is going to surprise a lot of people, and it already started to do so. Now, as we do focus on the graph and as we do focus on the AI narrative being pushed, what's going to be the next one? What's going to be the next catalyst? Well, in my opinion, the next catalyst for the next bull run, which kind of started back in 2021 as well, is Web3. Web3 has been a big discussion around almost all these markets. And as we do focus on Hedera, I do believe that Hedera is becoming a leading name around the Web3 space. Right now, currently, as we do look at HBAR, it's actually up about almost 9%. We have been sort of just ranging for the past couple hours from that major push with the Dell partnership. 7-day span, you can kind of see where most of our ranging was. And the 1 month, as you guys do see, with the market having a nice move, we start to gain some value on HBAR. But overall, I think one of the biggest leading impacts around HBAR right now, and one of the obstacles, is most people look at the supply ratio. I actually think that the supply ratio for HBAR is not too bad. I think that 26 billion is totally fine. I think that the total supply, max supply, 50 billion as well, is not that bad at all when compared to like ADA or XRP, etc. So there's still a lot of room for HBAR to grow. Now, in terms of a few statistics that I've been personally looking at, and if you guys have been watching my last videos on HBAR, then you probably know that I've been focused on DeFi TVL. I've also been looking at TPS demand. As we do focus on TVL, TVL is doing very good on Hedera side. In fact, I think it's like, well, almost 2 billion HBAR locked away in TVL, which is pretty crazy. And then when we compare it to other chains, we're right here under Bitcoin. We're above near ADA, EOS, and a ton of other ones, like even Aptos as well. So when we take a look at where Hedera is, it's leading the way. It's growing. It's continuously building and expanding. And it's only a matter of time before we start to kind of lead the way into the top 10. I personally would love to see what happens when we get to like Solana's TVL value. That will be something special. But also TPS demand, right? We're the #1 chain for TPS demand right now. We are well above ADA. You don't even see ADA on this list. And when we kind of compare to other leading names around the space, like, yeah, we are absolutely killing it right now. So as we do focus on what HBAR is doing, we kind of compare it to the counterparties, right? We kind of compare it to ADA, we compare it to Solana, even though Solana does have a lot lower supply ratio. So let's actually look into a few things, and let's take a quick look at the transactional demand. So transaction demand, it's right on par with the real TPS demand. We're still right around that same range. In terms of like the metrics, 1 month span, we did about 1.13 billion transactions. Now this is in part because of the enterprise grade demand. This is the first enterprise grade use case that has gone live on Hedera, and I believe that there's going to be a lot more going live fully in the next couple months, which could also be a big push for a price catalyst. Now, as we do look at HBAR and we look at the overall ecosystem, we are continuously seeing them build, grow, and expand. We have so many Web3 applications and enterprise applications just waiting to go fully live and actually launch. Enterprise grade ones, a lot of these are big names. I've talked about HBAR quite a bit on this channel, as you guys are probably all aware. So we are just waiting and counting down the days until another use case goes fully live. And also the partnership yesterday with Dell was another huge opportunity to not only see a nice price increase, but it was also sort of an idea on like, okay, well, now things are getting real because now big corporations, tech companies, etc., are coming into the space and saying, okay, Web3 is going to be huge. We want to leverage DLT technology for the future. And this is becoming the future technology. Now, as we do focus on this, like, okay, well, where is the value at? What's the value of HBAR? What could be the value of HBAR going into the next bull run? Well, let's dive into this. Let's talk about it. So, historical snapshots. Most of the money in this market trickles down. Starts with large caps, goes into mid caps, small caps, and then micro caps. We've seen this happen all the time within this market, and that's usually on occasion how things work. But now that we have this narrative playing out, we don't know if we are in a bull, we don't know if we are in a bear. This could be a bear market rally. We don't know. We got to be cautious, right? But if this is the beginning of the bull run, then we are going to most likely see these AI narratives and things like that kind of push around the money, very similar to what we've seen with DeFi summer in 2020 that led to, a 2-year bull run. Now, if we start to see that, and if we see a major move within this market going forward, I do think that assets that are Web3 focused and doing real things are going to be a big change in scenery for price action. And if we're talking about like the top 10, usually most of these tokens do get a lot of money trickling in, meaning most of them hit like a $100 billion market cap or somewhere within like the $50 to $100 billion market cap. So we're kind of going off of market cap to calculate what the price could be. Now, again, this does not price in supply ratio release or anything like that in terms of like HBAR being released to the general public. But what we will do and what we can focus on is also two tokens, Solana and ADA. We also have Dogecoin over here just to kind of look at it and compare it because Dogecoin did have a massive narrative push behind it from Elon Musk, really kind of pumping it to the retail sector. So let's look at Solana first. Let's go off of Solana. So let's go look at Solana's price at $260. I think that the market cap for Solana was right around like the $100 billion market cap area. Oh, sorry, So there we have it. So yeah, it was like right around $100 billion. It was $97.1 billion. If HBAR did achieve almost a $100 billion market cap, it would be about $3.73, right around my price range target of $3 to $6, which is why I've said like, we could see this price action move eventually. Now, going off of like max supply, for an example, this would be about $2. Now, I'm not expecting the full supply to be released to the general public, but say for so if we do get like 30 billion fully out there, we'd still have that $3 plus price potential for HBAR. But just for the sake of the video, we will go off of current supply. But this does calculate the risk associated with 4 billion supply being released to the general public. Now, that was Solana. Let's go off of ADA. ADA did hit about $3.10. I think that this is a viable area for HBAR to be hitting, but this would be about $108.6 billion in market cap potential. HBAR would be sitting at about $4.17. Again, right between my $3 to $6 price range anyways. Now, Dogecoin. Dogecoin is also one that we have been looking at because Dogecoin has been one that has gotten pushed in the past, and tokenomics do not even matter for this thing because of the mainstream media attention that it got. We rounded up to 74 cents, but for the sake of this video, we will go 73.76. So here is Dogecoin at 73.76. This was right around $101.8 billion in market cap potential. Here is HBAR at that price range target. So roughly about a 51x, almost $4 for HBAR. So right within that range. So as we look at this, okay, well, what is the price targets that I'm looking at for HBAR? So I've always called for $3 to $6, but if we want to be a little bit more conservative, okay, like first off, we need to target the last previous all-time high, but after that, we have a few targets up here. So in my opinion, I'm looking at $2 at least. $2 is like the bare minimum that I will accept for HBAR in my opinion. Now, will I take profits beforehand? Yeah, 100%. I will get my initial investment out. That way I could reinvest if we do continue to drop in value or anything like that. You could also take profit whenever you feel to take profit. In my opinion, whenever we do see like a 10x off of the bottom range or our average price, so say for so, I was investing today, right? So first off, I would be taking my initial investment out here at about almost 15 cents. And then after that, where I will be taking my profit or taking my first profit point would be about a 10x opportunity. So about 84 cents, roughly around that price range target. And then after that, we really just target like a 20x opportunity run, which would be like $1.50. So at that point, I have a lot of profit taken. So I feel confident just kind of holding until my targets are met. So our main targets are $2 and like 66 cents. We could just round it to like $2.50. We'll just say $2.50. And then $3, $3.50, $4, $4.50. So let's look at a few things. How much HBAR would you need to become a millionaire off of some bare minimum target? So conservative wise, and these targets do not calculate for taxes. They do not calculate like the cost here. This is just today's value. It wouldn't be off of like the average. Like if I were to put like $1,000 in at 2 cents, $1,000 in at 4 cents, 5 cents, etc. Like this is not calculating my average or anything. It's just today's value. So if our main target, our conservative target is $2, this also does not calculate you taking profit at all. This is just you investing today and holding until these targets are met, which I do not advise you to do at all. Of course, not financial advice, but I would not just hold until one singular target gets met. That is how you do get wrecked. Always take profit when profit is there. That way you kind of de-risk yourself. So you could argue that you kind of want to have more holdings than this, maybe like 550,000, 450,000, etc. But if we are looking at just a $2 minimum target, then we would want about 500,000 HBAR. Today's cost, today's value of that would be about $37,500. So that is quite a bit of value to invest. But if you have it, I would most likely do. Like, I would not put $37,500 into one singular asset. I would actually diversify. I would diversify any of these values, honestly, into multiple coins just because it makes sense. Because you don't need to make $1 million off of just one singular asset. Just full transparency. So I wouldn't be putting like a massive amount of money like this into one singular asset unless you have quite a bit of money to invest. Like, I like to do 3 to 4 tokens in my holdings. Right now, I actually have a lot more than that in my holdings. But if I had, we'll say $1 million, then I would feel confident to invest $100,000 into 10 different tokens because, hey, one of them could 10x, one of them could 20x, and maybe another token just kind of sitting there doing nothing. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just push the profits into that one. When it does pop, I'll just take the profits out. That's usually how I look at a lot of these tokens. But with 500,000, yeah, I think that 500,000 is viable. This would be about a $52.1 billion market cap. That's not too bad at all for what Hedera is doing. This would be about an upside of 26x, which, by the way, going off of the last all-time high for HBAR, which I think was like, what, 58 cents, 58.3. So 58.3, today's market cap, that would be about a $15.2 billion market cap. So going off that, doubling it, tripling that market cap is not too bad. So like anywhere between like $45 billion would be my main target point to really kind of go off of, just like doing a 3x off of that run, which would be about $1.73, an upside of 22x. But for the sake of this video, we will go off of these main targets, which I'm looking at. But this is like the most conservative that I would be on the price per HBAR. But with 400,000 HBAR, with a target of $2.50, this would basically be $1 million. Cost today $30,000, which would be the full value. $2.50 would take us to about $65.1 billion in market cap, an upside of about 32x. Again, I could see this being a viable market cap area because there is a lot more going on around Hedera's side today than there was in the last major run-up. We also have about 333,333. This is like where prices kind of get a little bit weird and strange because of the value that we're actually working with. This would be about $25,000, $3, $78.2 billion market cap. Again, pretty viable. Next is like 285,714, 21,428, $3.50. So now we're kind of working into the area that I've been focused on, $3 to $6. These upper ones, these are like conservative targets in my opinion, but around like $3.50, $91.2 billion market cap. This is where things get a little bit more risk on, meaning this is where we kind of risk the price just kind of falling. Because after this, like the market cap is a little bit unsustainable depending on where the market is. We're sitting at about like a $5 to $10 trillion market cap, like I said in my XRP video. Then yeah, I could see it like going well above like $100 billion, but $91.2 billion, that's pretty substantial. But we would be targeting like anywhere between this roughly like $50 to $100 billion market cap area is perfect to me. Like I would argue that like $100 billion itself is an area that I feel comfortable with. This would be about $3.84. This would be right on par with our $4 target almost, which would be about $18,750 today. 250,000 HBAR. And I think that that is a viable area. I think that this is an area that I could see potentially being targeted because it's right on par with ADA. It's right on par with Dogecoin. It's basically right on par with Solana as well. But this is like after that, it kind of gets into like the risky area. Like for an example, like $6, right? So at $6, although it seems very reasonable that like $12,500 today's value, not even like the bottom, the full bottom that we've seen, or like average. This seems like a very viable option. This is like, okay, the lowest amount of money that I could put in. It seems great, right? But at the end of the day, like $6 for $156 billion market cap, this is questionable if we will see this price range target and if we will even see this be realized in. So at $6 is a little bit harder of a target to be met. I see a lot of people saying like $10 is possible. $10 is definitely possible. Anything after $6 is possible. It just depends on how much money actually trickles into Hedera. What's going to bring that amount of valuation to Hedera's side? Because are they worth $260 billion today? In my opinion, they're not. Because again, there's one viable enterprise grade use case right now. We need to see a lot more building on Hedera's side before we start to question like if it's worth, $250 billion. But after that, well, I should say, we really kind of look at these other ones too, like $4.50. $4.50 is like the highest valuation I think that we could see. Like we could see higher, but at $4.50 and after $4.50, I kind of question on like where's the market cap for crypto right now. Like most of these top 10 tokens, if you're looking at like dominance, even like dominance right now, if we're looking at most of these tokens, the top 10 holds about like 1% of the total value of all of the market cap. Now, yes, when Bitcoin does start to fall, we start to see the value and the dominance of all coins change drastically. But if we're starting off with like a $5 trillion market cap for crypto, and HBAR is holding 1% of that, just 1% of the market share value, then you're looking at anywhere between roughly like the $50 billion to $100 billion market cap area anyways. But that's off of just 1%. I would argue like maybe 2%, maybe 3% would be the target. So again, that's why I say like $117 billion could be possible in the next run up if we do see HBAR in the top 10, and if we do see it at like a 3% or 4% or 5% market dominance, which most of them do hit about like 4%. If they do hit about 4%, it's like a $200 billion market cap, which is also why I included the possibility of like a $6 plus target for HBAR, because at $200 billion it would be $7.68. But how much money is really going to trickle into HBAR? It's questionable. We don't know. I don't know. But I'm mainly looking at like $3 to $6. I think $3 is a great starting point. This is $78.2 billion market cap. There's a lot going on Hedera's side. The community is growing. They're doing a lot of marketing. So $3 is my main target. I would argue that $3 is the one that I've been looking at the most. This would be about 333,333 HBAR. And listen, if you don't have $25,000 to invest, first off, I wouldn't go all in on 25,000 with HBAR. I would diversify. Diversification is like the biggest key to success in this market, because I could take, say for so I take $5,000 into an altcoin and it does a 5x run before HBAR even moves. Right, I just made $25,000 from my $5,000. I could take my $5,000 out. I have again another 20,000. I could even take 10 grand out and go and invest into HBAR. Meaning, hey, I just made 25 grand with my $5,000, and now I have $10,000 profit that I could reinvest into HBAR before it even moves. So that's why diversification is huge in this space, because it allows you to create a lot more value from your investments, and also it allows you to build a bigger portfolio off of the same amount of capital instead of constantly investing more and more and more and more and more. So that's what I mainly look at. But I would start with, like, my main target for HBAR right now, for anybody out there that is watching this video, start with 100,000 HBAR. Try to have that your goal. If that's too much money, then hey, start with 50,000. You don't need a massive amount of these tokens. All you need to do is be able to take profit from other assets and kind of just trickle them into altcoins that haven't moved. The best way that I look at it is like it's the way that we look at this entire market. First off, money flows into Bitcoin. Then from Bitcoin, usually flows into Ethereum and other large cap gems. I know that like Ethereum's not really a large cap gem, but it does have a very large market cap. And usually we start to see like 10 billion plus tokens get a lot more money flowing into them eventually. But we start to see money just trickle down, and that's how I look with like altcoins. It's like if one of my altcoins is doing a massive move while the other ones are sitting stable, then I will take money from that altcoin that has started to do a major move, take my profit at a 2x, always take my initial investment out at a 2x, take my profit out at 5, 10, 20, 50, whatever X run it's doing, and I would just kind of just trickle it into my other altcoin holdings that aren't moving, because that's the best way to create a huge portfolio off of basically like the smallest amount of capital possible. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.